Hello, mindful friends. Today we're going to be talking about the healing powers of nature. And this is very present for me today because we're getting ready to leave for our mindful backpack trip. And we're so excited to go out and spend 4 good days in the wilderness, connecting with nature and each other and healing mindfully in the mountains. And I also just experienced this as I took a trip over to New York and spent a lot of time in airports and on concrete floors and on pavement and driving and traveling. And when I arrived back home, I can feel this kind of heightened energy of being around that many people and that much transportation and all that movement, kind of what it does to you and the tensions in my body and my head. And the first thing I wanted to do was get up to the mountains and go for a walk in the woods alone with my dog Fancy. And how when you're present with that and noticing what it does to your mind and your body and your spirit, you recognize how healing it is to connect with the earth. And we see that on so many levels, and there's been research upon research proving this and kind of studying it. And that's why kind of in Japan they do the forest baths as part of their health, and we're recommended to spend time in nature. And it's because it really truly does physiologically alter our whole system and our nervous system. And it's this connection to the trees and the phytokinds that they're kind of sharing out into the world that we breathe in. It's the smells, it's walking on the earth, and that all of these things help to restore and rejuvenate and give us life. And as I was walking through the forest yesterday after that long time of travel, it's like I can just feel my whole body arrive, and everything starts to breathe and relax and feels so content and joyful to be in the presence of nature. And I get filled with this deep sense of gratitude that we live in a place here in Montrose, Colorado, where we have this immediate access to nature and where I can get out into it every day. And I truly do believe that that plays a huge part in my balance, stability, and well-being and my health. I'm just 100% sold on that. And I've lived in places before where I've been more separated from nature. I've been in cities, and I can feel my slow decline in health and well-being. And that's not to say that you can't live in cities or these places and be well. It just means make an effort to get out to nature when you can, to spend time in the parks, because it is our life force. It's what sustains us. It sustains life on this planet. And it helps, like I said, literally calms the nervous system and helps to increase your immunity and your well-being, your cell rejuvenation. And when you use your mindfulness to get out into nature, you can really feel the effect that it has. I'm to the point I feel it immediately when I go out, the breath of relief that I have arrived back into my home of nature. And when we go out on extended trips like this, like we're doing with this backpack retreat, where you are definitely more separated from nature, right? Because you're just living in a tent, you're sleeping on the ground, you eat on the ground, you sit on the ground, you walk on the ground, you're living in the trees. And you do that for days at a time, and you get these long breaks from kind of the noise and the pace and the busyness of everyday life. Is that the healing that comes from that is just very heightened and very powerful, and your ability to engage with mindfulness increases dramatically because you have less distractions, you have less things pulling you away, and you are more engaged with the basic, simple presence where you are. And like we always said, it's easier to be mindful and present when your surroundings are pleasant, when they are appealing, when they are healing. So when we go to nature and our surroundings are these incredible views, the forests, you smell the pine and the flowers and the earthiness, and you hear the creek trickling by, is that those are the probably most pleasant surroundings you could be in. And so your ability and desire to be present within them is heightened, and it makes it easier for you to engage in that and be here in this moment, versus what we experience in a busy city or in an airport setting like I was in, or in a work setting, is that there's a lot of, we don't call them unpleasant, but they're kind of constant distractions going on, or noises happening, things, in our peripheral vision. If we're trying to focus here, we're seeing so much going on the sidelines and other things happening. And that all of that makes it a little more difficult to be fully present and engaged with what we're doing. And I love that about nature, is that she just moves a little bit slower, that there's less happening at once, there's less noise. The noises that are there are very consistent. So if you get, wind, it's kind of coming and going in a consistent pattern, or you get a creek, it's flowing consistently. And so these things are less distracting and they're less evasive into our minds and our attention, so that it naturally eases us into this full mindful presence. And that when we're there, we get to engage in that gratitude. And that happens in so many levels in nature, is that one, we appreciate the gifts that Mother Nature offers us, these trees that are giving us oxygen, all these animals and plants that nourish us and keep us alive and well and healthy, in the water that provides us with this life-giving substance that we all need to live and thrive. So you're engaging with all of this. But in the discomforts that we feel, there's still some present, and that you have to work a little harder to go to the bathroom or to filter your water. And this fills you with gratitude of, you actually get to recognize that you have these gifts in your everyday life, these things that make life so much easier. On the one hand, easier, but when we forget what they provide us, they can also kind of complicate life, because when you don't get to slowly take the time to just filter your water and process your, everyday things that keep you alive and nourished, you have a lot more time that then you can fill with screens and busyness and information and tasks. And so you observe that give and take of, yes, I'm so grateful that I have warm water that runs from my faucet, and then I see the extra time and space that it offers me and the non-presence that it can kind of introduce into my life. Because that's so easy, now I can have this extra mind space and time to fill that. And what am I filling that with? And I'm still grateful for this gift I've been given of this facility that's given to me in my daily life. And so as we move into and are so excited and our hearts are joyful that we get to go on this backpack trip and use nature to heal and have all these remembrances and walk upon the earth, and every step you feel the softness beneath you, so unlike concrete that placed there by man, but this softness that just settles you into the ground beneath you, and you can kind of feel the support of it under you. And we get to sleep in the trees and eat amongst nature. I invite you guys, if you're not on this trip or not doing this, to engage in that in your own way. Find ways to get out in nature. Find ways to sit in her presence and just observe and soak in the presence that she offers you and the gifts that she offers you. And start tuning into and really feeling the effects nature has and the gifts that she offers and how much healing she brings and what a life force she is, so that we can all appreciate her more and remember the importance of taking care of her, as she's the most healing, life-giving thing that we have. And so respecting her, honoring her, and feeling gratitude towards her, and the desire to take care of this Mother Earth that we have been gifted. If you enjoy these talks and would like to join us for group sessions, coaching, or a retreat, you can find us at newleafmindfulness.com. You can also find these teachings and more in my books. I have Living from the Heart, Healing Ourselves So We Can Heal the World, and my newest book that is coming out this month, Healing Mindfully, Finding Peace Through Pain, Illness, and Aging. You'll be able to buy those anywhere you buy your print or audio content. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you all very soon.